Hello, thank you for joining me. So what we've done up till now, and this is our 11th video in our series on rendering an image inside of our Revit project. We've actually produced this as last rendering after we painted our walls. So if you remember, we painted this wall kind of a burnt orange, had a yellow color, and this a green color on our walls. It actually looks pretty good. I went ahead and rendered this as a medium resolution image. It took about 5 minutes to do. It might be a little bit longer on our computers in the CAD lab. If you want to do a high resolution image, it might be a little bit longer than that. So one thing to kind of note about here is that you might need to split these walls or create a different wall here if you have a wall coming through here like that. If you want the kitchen to be green but you want the dining room to be a different color, that's a little bit kind of a different way of doing it. Applying the paint tool to it the way we did paints that whole surface. It doesn't recognize the split in the wall there, so you might have to split that wall up in order to provide different different colors to different portions of the wall. But we'll cover that in a different video. So let's go ahead and save this. A couple different things we can do before we exit out of our rendering dialog box. We can save it to the project, and perhaps saving it as it is right now. We'll call that maybe a -1. So it's going to borrow the name that we have for that one camera view, and go to OK. So now it saves it on project, and that's okay. Sometimes I've mentioned in class, if you want to produce images within the project and then incorporate those images into your ultimate product, which are going to be drawings, which we're going to go over here in a couple weeks, it's appropriate to do that. We'd also export it. You can go to the export button, and this way you can define it, this particular image in a folder of your choice, and name it with the appropriate name. So I'm going to put it in probably my preparation folder for week number 6. So I'll probably put it in here. And a JPEG image, you have a couple different choices in here: JPEG, a bitmap, PNG, or a TIFF file. We're going to stick with JPEG. That's probably the more common one. And just go to save. And it saves it there. And one last way of saving your image: if you go to your application menu, scroll down, go to export. Anything you've created up now, whether it's images or animations like your walkthrough, you can go ahead and save that. So go to the image button, and you can do this later. As long as you saved your image to your project, you can export that image. Okay, we'll save our project. Now we're just waiting. And we're there. There we go. So now we can go to our output format. We can go to the folder of our choice, and it's remember the folder we just created there, which is going to be and it's going to be calling it by the project name. So if we want to change the name of that, we can. So I call it my skinny house preparation 2 P2. So let's call that kitchen or dining room. Go down here, some other options. We don't want to export necessarily the current window. It will take a photograph or take a screenshot of what we're looking at. But what we want to do is go to Selective Views and Sheets. Let's scroll down here. So every sheet that we've created so far and all the views that we've created down here in our project browser are going to be available over here on the left side. So we have a couple different renderings. If you go down maybe 3/4 of the way down, I have a rendering second floor living room SW-1. That's the one we want to export. We can also export this one too. I have another one for the kitchen 2 lights actually coming off in the direction over here. So let's go to OK. And do you want to save these settings for use in a future Revit session? Probably not. And if we want to fit it to a specific pixel format, I know on my website I like to have about 800 wide, so you can probably change that if you want. A JPEG format is good. And yeah, it looks good to me. So you go to OK. And what it's going to do is it's going to save both of those pictures in that folder that I just chose. So that's it on rendering. At least that's all I want to cover right now. The next set of videos are going to be on walkthroughs. Thanks for joining me.